about him alone, because when it came, I really knew this guy was. Let me share it right. I want to talk to you. You know, I didn't know it's the same. Then on breaking the news is like Christine. He said sister, and is a person I know. I've been with my fiancé for more than 5 years, and we are hoping to get married soon. We have worked things together. We have helped each other. Now I get bad news. He says I'm getting bad news. Yesterday the lady was like, sorry. She called and the lady is not picking, is changing. He said, no, do you know what? I'm in love with another person. Don't disturb us. In fact, the boy almost collapsed, or he collapsed, half collapsing. According to what he's telling me. I gave him my own part, since I'm entrusted to give him he would have asked another person first, but since he asked me, you know, I said we are so blessed that when God wants to make something out of you, he first makes you pass through something, know what you're supposed, how to counsel people, what to speak, the right way, not your emotions. Because gone are the days when you would tell me something like this, I would be empathetic, I would stand in, even I would start crying. I would even ask, give me that number, I start talking to the person. But having entered into I started this life coaching recently. I know it will take me time to finish, but God had already deposited it in me. So I know that's the reason that such cases are coming to my table. So I gave him my own stand. What I feel is good. You know, a doctor mostly doesn't treat herself or himself, but they know the disease, they know the symptoms, they know the process, they know the cure. I'm sure I gave him the right counsel. And if you come online, drop your suggestions, drop if it was you, what would you have told him? How would you have comforted him? It's already the lady is moving with another guy, and this guy happens to be his best friend. Best friend, mfa, you know, these people who are like this. So imagine me, Christine, with my guy's best friend. And I drop this one, then I go with the other one. I'm narrating for you a story to know what you would talk. And this is not about this guy or this lady. It is also all of us, most of us, we have gone through such things. Recently, I was listening to someone, and I made a duet about it. There are most people who are in ventilators waiting. Please, let me use this name, James. I know because his name is so common in my mouth. I'm not supposed to say his name because it's privacy, but I'll use the name James to educate other people and ourselves. James, let me tell you, you are not the first person to face this challenge, to face this problem. No, you are the last person. No. Many hearts are being wounded, are being broken. Why? Because now I put your matter like what there's someone I was listening to recently, whereby the preacher was like, most people don't want those ugly guys. Okay, not ugly as such, but people who have not reached somewhere. Ladies, men are looking for a lady who is already driving. Ladies are looking for a man who is already driving. There are some people who go ahead and they have to target those people, but they don't want so in them. So James, I'm very sorry, but it's okay. It happens. You are not the first person. You sold in this lady. I'm sorry, you will see me laughing because these things are common. And especially ladies want to see men who are driving, if they have kids. but they might not look for the ground to build till with a guy to reach an extent of building this, doing that. So James, I'm very sorry for what you're going through, but that one is for a short of time. The first I told him rather, go to the table with your father, ask him. If this lady is your wife, you have, I can say investing, you have invested, you have sold in that, in her, because you want her to be what she wants you, what you want her to be for a long time. You have made life together, but here she comes and say no. Go to your father. If your father confirms to you, there are signs that you will see. Your father tells you, this is your lady. And if your father confirms to you, don't run. Just don't be with them. This is what I was telling him. Be calm. Be where you are. Remain. I know there are some social media in-laws. There are some friends who will laugh at you. They will call you a fool. That is if your daddy has said, hold on. Just keep quiet. Wait for him. Wait for her. That one will be a small thing, and she'll come back. Because if your daddy has said so, don't go on people's what they think. Secondly, on the other hand, I told him, please, and even I'm telling you also outside, but before I tell another point, please, relationship is between you and your person. It can be involved third parties when, like, it is going beyond, and sometimes third parties will make it worse because they don't know they don't know the origin of your relationship. They even don't, but they might not be knowing that you sold in that person. Then here comes this lady or this man who said, this girl is driving, I want to go. I cannot go to somebody. Others use even spell to bring the love because they want that. So James, you know your name normally comes now. I'm changing his name. James, I want you to be comfortable, and also someone out there and is facing that, whether you're a lady or you're a man. Be comfortable. I know it hurts. Guys, seriously, Immaculate people, if you come online, I want you to drop down your comments. We have already begun. I left food. I decided to concentrate on this because I always tell you there are like 2 to 3 things that brings the heart that pains more than the death, because you feel like I wish I was dead. There are 2 things. One is love. The second one is, what is the second one? I normally tell you. The second one is poverty. And the last one is hate. If it is you. But the last one would be death. Those are the very painful things that happen to you, and you feel you can't bear the pains. No one will feel the pain of you being neglected or dumped by the person you loved, you invested in, you sold in. No one will feel it. It's only you that feels. If you've lost somebody, your loved one, and especially in a very quick way you didn't expect, and someone you hear she has passed on or he has passed on. There's that pain. I felt that pain when I lost my mom. I felt that pain that it took me 1 year. And if God is not on your side, you can continue and you follow your mom, because that pain is unbearable. It pierces like nothing. That is the second one. The third one, which people have taken to be part of them, is the poverty pain. Poverty pain is where you find you're comfortable. You don't have money, you don't move forward, you don't know where the money is coming from. When you look at people who have money, you will feel jealous. You do this because of, but that is the pain that is in the world. But this pain of heartbreak, the pain of death are unbearable. I know what you're going through, James. James, keep strong. If you're there also out there and you're going through the same, be strong. But the first thing first, talk to your daddy. Talk to your father. He's your father now. Ask him. The moment he puts a stamp and say, baby boy, James, This lady will come back. This is your lady. This is a rib of your rib. This is your bestie. Go somewhere. Get a drink of juice. Drink. It's just a matter of time. Pray, do your things. Don't rush to go and retaliate. Don't rush to go to your best friend who has taken. The worst is your best friend. Imagine your best friend. And the worst is when she tells you, now she told him, this guy is wealthier than you. These are gold diggers, guys. We have seen this in ladies, and the lady tells you, excuse me, I don't care. I don't care. But how can you imagine? This is now two-way. The lady is saying the best friend of James is wealthier. After James investing in her, sowing in her, she even doesn't know the other second person who sowed in him. So this one, I'm bringing it to your table, guys. If it was you, please give answers. If it was you, how would you talk to him? How would you tell him? Which counsel would you give? Most people are facing this challenge in the world, and it is bringing a lot of things. It is bringing hatred. It is bringing malice. And hatred, you know, when it is packed in one, and it increases, it intensifies, it ends up bringing suicide murders. By the way, most murders, especially with love, a person will kill you. Imagine James has been with this lady. They are all over social media. I think I have seen them. I'm using a different name. He's not called James because to protect him. They are all over everywhere. Now the lady goes immediately on her status. She's putting the other new guy, the friend of the friend, on Facebook. She's posting another. What would you really, don't you know? I'm sorry to say, that is stupidness. Please, James, take heart, but you look at her, she's becoming more stupid. Because it hasn't, I don't think she started, yes, she would have told you. But since she opened and told you, just go down and sit and relax. I've told you, take your juice, take your mocktail. It will pain you. And this is also to someone out there. Love pains more than nothing. There is nothing that can pain more than love. Especially when you have sold in that person and you really knew. It's not about James today. It's about what about you yesterday. Recently, we are on one of the live for Mimilicious. Most ladies are putting Mimilicious and I think Maria. Maria is now in Turkey. You know, people were like, not only ladies, even men. Gone are the days when they look at ladies and think it's men who are breaking the hearts of ladies. No, even men. But to my advice, everybody out there, I know the social media in-laws, you're there, you're going to say, how do you give such advice? That is, if it is not yours, don't take it. Stay where you are, stay put, look unto God. I told you relationship is for 2 people. It's not for 3 people. Don't go beg this girl or that lady. Go to the closest with your father. Talk about it. If he says it's yours, hold on, do your things and wait. She will come back. Is your rib now? But if he says no, there are some wasters. I don't use that word because people have overused time wasters. No. They overuse it. There are people who are not time wasters, but when they are trapped, sometimes they don't know how to move out. It wasn't their rib, but they are already there. They find themselves there. So when God says no, this is bullshit, break it and move on. However, it's very painful. So I'm waiting for your suggestions. I'm waiting for what would you tell this guy? He's a guy. Because if you're telling him, it means you're also helping someone out there who is in the same problem. There are people who will go through the same problem and they will never mention it. But this one, he brought it to my table because he knows Immaculate Show. He has been is a very great follower of Immaculate Show. And he knows we have been handling such things.